Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Civil War. In the Civil War, there were two sides, the Confederacy and the Union. The main reasons why the Civil War happened were because of slavery, sectionalism, and states' rights. The main reason was slavery. The Confederacy wanted to keep slavery, but they knew Abraham Lincoln would abolish it. The Confederacy, aka the South, were doing slavery just fine before the 1860 election. They knew that Abraham Lincoln wasn't going to let it expand, but later on they found out that he actually changed his mind. He now wants to abolish it and free the slaves. But let's talk about sectionalism. The North was focused on their own religion, meanwhile the South was focused on their own. And everybody knows in a state back then, in a country back then, you can't have two religions. Now, states' rights was pretty simple and common sense, but basically some states were getting certain rights that the others didn't have. So that made the other states mad and want to start a war. Now that we got past the reasons why it started, let's get to how it went down. Basically, the South seceded, which means they departed from their country and they formed their own called the Confederacy. The states that seceded were Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Now I know what you're thinking. Texas? How could Texas be a slave state and not want slavery to be abolished too? Well, trust me, I thought the same thing. At this time after the secession, this fueled the United States and Abraham Lincoln. But still, Abraham Lincoln did not want to go to war. But eventually, the Confederacy pushed it and went way too far. So then the Battle of Galveston started. The first battle of the Civil War, the Union Navy began to blockade Texas ports, preventing the Confederacy from exporting cotton to make money. Confederate General John B. Magruder converted two steamboats into gunboats. Lining these sides with cotton bales for protection, Magruder and his men attacked Union ships and captured several hundred Union soldiers. The city of Galveston was again under Confederate control, meaning the Confederate has now won the first battle. Scoreboard 1-0. Now, before we talk about the next battle of the Civil War, we need to talk about advantages. The Union had industry, manufacturing, railroad, Abraham Lincoln, Minnie-Ball, and more troops. And the Confederacy had manufacturing, slavery, cotton, Minnie-Ball, General Lee, highly trained troops. Okay, now that we got that over, let's talk about the next battle. The Battle of the Sabine Pass. The Union did not intend to leave Galveston in Confederate hands. Union troops planned to invade Texas through the Sabine Pass and capture Galveston. Confederate Lieutenant Richard Dowling and his all-Irish unit, known as the Davis Guards, were stationed to protect the pass with only 6 cannons. The Davis Guards fired fast and accurately, and they stopped the Union attack. Capturing more than 300 Union soldiers, the Confederate victory excited people in Texas and the rest of the South. L.T. Dowling and the Davis Guards received special medals for their actions. However, this victory was not enough to save the Confederacy. After this battle, the score was 2-0, but the Confederacy knew that the Confederacy knew that they couldn't keep this up, which leads to General Lee of the Confederacy surrendering to the Union at the Appomattox Courthouse. Everybody shook hands and agreed the war was over and the Union had won. But wait, you really thought that was the end? Well, the Confederacy said no. So the Confederacy attacked the Union soldiers for the last time at the Battle of the Palmetto Ranch for some unknown reason. But the Confederacy ended up winning that battle, and of course, it didn't matter because they had already surrendered. So basically, that's basically what happened in the Civil War. I hope you guys learned something, and until next time, cease.